everybody. How you going? Good, thanks. Aquatic News International back again now that school holidays have finished. Apparently fourth winter has arrived in Inverell. It is, God, it's got to be snowing somewhere. Anyway, enough complaining about me. I hope you all had a good weekend. Let's dive in. There's a bit. So, research in action, LED lighting for RAS systems. LED lighting systems are reviewed for their role in Atlantic and coho salmon production. LED lights are more energy efficient and adjustable with intensity, wavelength, and photo period. We know this. They can be very, very flexible, especially with targeting different wavelengths. Hyper red wavelengths for macroalgae growth, for example, in marine aquariums. Light spectrum affects fish growth and can optimize farm setups if tailored to specific needs. So, yeah, I mean, I even know of systems that were usually kept in the dark. The fish behavior was really affected by, well, fish behavior can be affected by a lot of things, but even these barramundi that had never seen a river or anything, every couple of days before the full moon and a couple of days after the full moon, they'd actually go off their feed. And that's because smaller fish, obviously predatory fish being around, they go into sort of hiding mode. It's very, very, very interesting, some of these things. Genetic memory in salmon and eels and things like that. It's really cool. Dimmability is crucial as abrupt lighting changes can stress fish, affecting health negatively. Same thing as just switching your aquarium light on in the morning. If you've got a simple timer, just wait till the sun comes up and then have your light come on after that. Same sort of thing. It's just, yeah, you don't want them walling and things like that and knocking themselves out and killing themselves and things. Light intensity is vital for growth and reproduction, varying across species and life stages. Obviously, you're not going to provide light for a larval system for deep sea larvae that don't see the light of day until they're, 3 months old or whatever. Aquaculture-specific LED options must address unique farm challenges. Bio LED and Philips are notable providers. Philips is just Philips. Yeah. Need to say more. Not a very high looked into area of RAS in Australia, and I think people should start looking at it. Nanobubbles again. Moving on. Nanobubbles again in RAS. Now, there's a couple of things with nanobubbles. One, if you're using atmospheric air, the nitrogen is what scares me, but, it's been, proven not to be an issue, apparently. Second, if you're using pure oxygen gas, people want to know how much more efficient the nanobubbles are at oxygen dissolution into the water. Now, I would say that the transfer efficiencies are pretty much the same, looking at all the numbers and everything like that, of an oxygen cone or a liquid oxygenator or anything like that. Where it differs is then how the nanobubbles then react with the water. So the cavitation, the implosion, the increase of redox potential, the production of hydroxyl radicals, increase in zeta potential, all that kind of thing. And you also have the ability for the nanobubbles, even through degassing, to actually stay in the water. So the degassing and things that would be potentially causing consumption in your oxygen, it's actually sticking around for a lot longer in the nanobubbles, as well as, the flotation effects and everything like that of it. So, Moliere being one of the first nanobubble manufacturers in the world that made it popular, Japan obviously being the ones that pioneered the technology. They use it in dialysis machines to clean blood. They use it in all sorts of stuff. Okay, so Moliere's nanobubble technology enhances oxygen dissolution into the water and water quality. Yes, okay. So, Lottingen Fisk facility achieves significant improvements in biofilter performance. Now, this is going to be pretty important because the biofilter performance that they would have been actually having would have been directly related to the oxygen within the system, as well as any potential fouling or anything of the biofilter media that they had. The technology increased oxygen transfer efficiency by 71%. Okay, so oxygen transfer efficiency, is that the amount of oxygen that went into the water? Or I don't see how it would increase oxygen transfer efficiency. I mean, maybe more oxygen. Yes, that's a bit of a misleading number, but okay. I'd like to see more about that. I might have to read that article again. Operation saw a 23% increase in dissolved oxygen, improving fish health. So, okay, so 23, yeah, okay, so 71% obviously with the volume of oxygen that was going in there, and a 23% increase in dissolved oxygen overall. Improving fish health. Biofilms, here we go. Biofilm scrubbing and reduced water turbidity decreased ozone use by 67%. So there's your redox and your cavitation and your implosion and hydroxyl radical and zeta potential increase and everything like that. Improved feed conversion rates and reduced operational costs demonstrate sustainability. Yes. Now, incorporating nanobubble technology into a contact chamber or something, maybe that. Yeah. Anyway, a lot more work to be done on nanobubbles. I'm very much looking forward to how we work on sizing those into aquaculture systems. I'd love to, talk shop with anyone. Anyone. Send me an email about nanobubble technology. Land-based aquaculture engineering firm celebrates 10th anniversary. Dutch firm, excuse me for just a second, you can probably hear that. That's my 2 male sausage dogs outside howling because there's a siren going past. So if you can hear that, I apologise. They'll stop singing in a second. Dutch firm Landing Aquaculture marks a decade of responsible aquaculture service, founded by Rob van de Ven, emphasising performance and transparency, achieved its 80th project milestone across global diverse species applications. Commitment to enduring customer partnerships and innovative solutions marking success. Prepares for an open day on November 15th to celebrate their achievements and aims to continue leading in large-scale farm partnerships while advancing aquaculture. Anytime you finish, boys. There we go. Okay. Very dramatic. Great to see a RAS supplier celebrating a 10-year anniversary and having such success. Well done. Well done, Landing. Well done. I see your stuff on LinkedIn all the time, and you do some fantastic work. So, well done. Very, very well deserved. Iceland's Samherji, I hope I am pronouncing that correctly, project to adopt Real Data's AI feeding technology. AI, I am down the rabbit hole big time, and this interests me a lot. So, they partnered with Real Data to use AI for efficient feeding at its facilities. Real Appetite system analyzes appetite for optimized feed levels, minimizing waste. So there's one of the biggest ones, obviously. AI integration targets improved fish performance and production results. Bear in mind, AI feeding and automatic feeding can also help your biofilter performance immensely by actually stretching out the TAN production over a 24-hour period or over a longer period of time, meaning that your biofilter can stay in a sort of constant level of flux and get used to it rather than it being shock loaded for a couple of hours after feeding when excretion happens. It just happens throughout the day, which obviously, again, decreases load on your drum filter and everything as well, and all your other filtration, I might add. So, this marks the beginning of greater efficiency and biomass increase at their sites. The collaboration highlights Real Data as a leading innovator in aquaculture technology. Long-term agreement reflects confidence in technology transforming feeding routines. Now, AI, a lot of people are confused by AI. If it's going to be this Terminator, Matrix, apocalypse, or whatever it is. AI as it is right now is generative, okay? So what it does is it uses a thing called a large language model, which are essentially all of the information, and they're broken down into little tokens, and then it predicts the next token by being trained, okay? What that does is it allows you to take very specific data and then allow a computer to essentially interpret that data and then run a program to then run your feeding or whatever it might be. Agentic AI, obviously using programs to use the LLM to call internet searches and things like that is another one. Autonomous AI, AGI, or autonomous general intelligence or anything like that is, maybe only a few years. But the fact of the matter is, this is just technology at the moment. You're not handing over all your proprietary information to a machine. All it is it's using a program to determine a large language model in order to run the calculations far better than you could, to then work in with a program to optimize the feeding. And this can be done over nearly every aspect of an aquaculture system. So don't be scared by it. Don't be scared by AI, okay? At least not yet. There's a lot more to it than that. But yeah, it can be incredibly useful. Daily life as well as everything else. Cannot recommend it enough. Fast track projects. Government was told to strengthen ties with Kiwis in areas like aquaculture. So, this is New Zealand. Government emphasised to involve iwi more in regional projects, including aquaculture. Emphasises the benefits of collaborative partnerships with Indigenous groups. Highlights aquaculture as a significant area for regional development focus. This is all happening in places like New Caledonia, Northern Territory, South Africa, all those kind of things as well, which is great. Calls for improved communication and engagement strategies, aims for shared goals and resource management for local communities. And these splinter cell production systems really have massive benefits for both aquaponics production as well as aquaculture production as well. The approach seeks to balance economic growth with cultural preservation. So this is being tried in third world areas, third world areas, but a lot of developing areas as well, and rural areas for producing, small production systems for people. Everyone's tried it. I don't think anyone has really succeeded at it. It's the training, I believe, that needs to be focused on rather than the equipment. And then they can then build it themselves, or you can provide a package system or whatever it might be. But it's the communication which is the biggest one, in my opinion. Just like in the aquarium industry, a well-educated customer is a good customer, and a successful customer, and that's what we're all aiming for. So yes, fantastic to see. Especially, I live in a rural area around here too, where cod fishing and stuff is huge around here. A couple of very large hatcheries, the Randalls for a start, just out here near Copeton, and there's a couple of others that have shut down over time. But there's no aquaculture happening up here at all. There's a trout farm a bit up the ways at Narrabri, but that's really about it. Okay, this is huge news, and I cannot say how excited I am for all of my customers in South Australia and Tasmania that are lobster fishermen. China lifts rock lobster ban. This is huge. This is fantastic. It goes over China's lift on the rock lobster ban after a period of restrictions. Potential impacts on regional exports and local economies are being explored. This article also analysed the market dynamics affected by the geopolitical environment, which is obviously, as we know, the entire cause of this. Details on how supply chains and pricing could shift post-ban, hopefully upwards. Examines future prospects for the rock lobster industry in this context. And provides background on prior restrictions and their industry effects. Hopefully, this means that both our governments can work together in preventing this from happening again, because when it happened, within 2 to 3 days, I saw lobsters in fishermen co-ops, supermarkets, everything like that, go from about, I don't know, $80 to $100 a kilo down to about $12. No one can make a living off that unless you're producing a huge amount, and it's just no. So this is fantastic. This is great. I'm so happy for all you guys down in Tassie and South Australia and Victoria and even New South Wales and everyone doing rock lobster fishing, Queensland, wherever, WA, wherever it might be. Really happy for you guys that this has finally happened. It's really fantastic. Tasmanian sand flathead recovery feasibility study. A feasibility study on the recovery of Tasmanian sand flathead populations is being done. Assesses the containment measures and strategies for species sustainability. Evaluates the past population's decline causes and potential restoration impacts. Considers the environmental, economic and social aspects of recovery plans. There is now a collaboration between the government, scientists, and local stakeholders that have been noted and are moving forward. The study aims to focus on the outcomes to guide the policy and practical conservation efforts for the Tasmanian sand flathead, a brilliant sports fish, flathead in general, a brilliant tasting fish. I would actually prefer to eat flathead over most species of fish. Saltwater and freshwater. They are a brilliant fish. They have a really fast growth rate. I'm surprised that the flathead flatfish industry hasn't caught on in Australia. They can maintain incredibly high stocking densities. They can be farmed in very shallow tanks, obviously because they lie on the bottom, which increases your ability to increase stocking densities. They don't really jump, and they have an incredibly high fillet recovery. Yeah, I'm interested to see this. I know that there are a couple of people doing spawns of flathead over the years. I believe Glenn Searle from Searle Aquaculture actually still does flathead. Not quite sure. Glenn's done a lot of different species that have never really been in aquaculture, but he does them for restocking and stuff. Glenn's got a wet thumb. Everything he touches turns to spawned. So, yeah, that's this week. Apologies for the orchestral performance by my sausage dogs outside before. I hope you are all going to have a good week. What are we running here? 16 minutes. That's not too bad. Hope you are all having a good week. Yeah. Hope you all have a good week. Keep on trucking. Let's see where this week takes us. And I suppose I should film my 5-minute fundamentals or a couple of them for this week as well. So, yeah. Hope you have a good week. Great to see so much happening in aquaculture at the moment. Crisp high fives to everyone. Very happy about the lobster industry being reopened again. Can not feel better about the state of the aquaculture industry in Australia at the moment. Loving seeing where it's going, talking to a lot of people about collaborations and things like that. We've got a lot of exciting stuff happening on this end as well, as does everyone in the Australian aquaculture industry. It's just really bloody good to see. And worldwide as well. So, yeah, keep on keeping on, champions. And I will see you soon. Peace.